So this is a wild sunflower. You find these in fields everywhere. Don't tear them down. If possible, if you can leave the stalks up and let them dry in your yard, it's best, because the little birds eat these seeds like throughout the summertime and the fall. So the flower itself, you can cut it off and you can make a tea from the flower. And the flower is good for when your stomach hurts or if you have a really high fever. That's what people use the flower for. You can also just use the leaves if you don't want to cut the flowers because you want to let them go to seeds. Just cut the little leaves off, and the leaves will be good for fevers. So you can dry these, save them throughout the year, and if you ever have a fever, this is a good tea to drink. Just add a little honey. Doesn't taste bad.
I'm here at Kamala's, just picking up some nopales. She's got some beautiful nopales, so I could take out to the Buena Gente. And I'm gonna cut some, and she's got beautiful plants in her backyard. And it is she lives up at West Martin, so it's right here on the west side. So I just wanted to share some things as far as I'm gonna be grabbing some of this stuff, or nopalitos I should say.
So here's another very important plant. They call this Mexican hat. It's kind of racist, but it's supposed to look like a Mexican hat. So you can take this, you can replant this from cuttings, or you can gather the seeds when the flowers dry out, and you can replant this in your garden and it'll come back every year. You can actually use the flowers for headache medicine or the teas. It doesn't taste good as an edible, but it's a great medicinal plant. And it comes back every year. You see it on roadsides, empty lots, creek sides. It's a very nice plant to harvest though, because it's easy to pick the seeds and just throw them in your garden and they'll come back every year. So this herb here, we have two really good ones, both edible and medicinal. So this here, this is called Alta Misa. It has a very strong smell. Smells like kind of like minty. When you touch the leaves are soft. So this tea is made for asthma, or if you have a lot of flemas in your lungs, you can boil this tea. Le dicen altamisa. In English, they call it artemisia. And then this little herb here, it looks kind of like a 4-leaf clover, but it's only 3 of them. This is called wood sorrel. The leaves and the flowers are edible. They're good for sprinkling on salads. They have kind of a lemony flavor. You don't want to eat too many of them because they do have a high oxalic acid, which is what causes kidney stones. So the other thing you could do is you could cook with it, and if you cook with it, it gives your food a nice lemony flavor. So the next plant on our walk is this plant. It's called malva or mallow. Let me get out of the sun a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, this plant, you can pull the leaves, you can dry them, you can crumble them into soups, use them year round. You can also just cook them like spinach or collard greens and eat them regular. This is actually a thickener, so if you put it in a caldo, it'll make your caldo thicker. It has kind of that mucusy feel like nopalitos and okra, but it's very nutritious and it only grows in the spring. So this plant, I usually pick it and dry it out so I can use it the rest of the year. This leaf right now is very small because somebody mowed over it. So the little pieces that came back, you can see the stems down here, but the little pieces that came back are really tiny. But otherwise, this tree would grow up to like 3 feet tall, and the leaves would be almost the size of your palm. Again, that's malva or mallow. Some people call it marshmallow.